Hello all, my name is Liset Reid and my presentation topic is going to be about the modification of drug testing within the criminal justice system and how it makes it more effective. I just want to talk about the different types of drug testing such as urinalysis, sweat patches, hair strands, also known as hair analysis and saliva analysis, and also just to give you a background information and the history of drug testing and how it really evolves within the criminal justice system. According to the Journal of Drug Issues, studies indicate that drug abuse and criminal behavior, including arrests, they are often directly related to one another, and there seems to be a direct correlation as well. Approximately 60% of arrests test positive for drug abuse. That's actually more than half, so that's a pretty high figure. In addition, the criminal justice system acts as a facilitator and the primary contact for drug treatment referrals. In 2002, 655,000 referrals were made, and arrestees/drug abusers were then directed to the appropriate substance abuse centers in an effort to really gain treatment. And also, drug testing began during the mid-1960s under the California Civil Addict Program. This program was basically designed to identify and hone in on heroin addicts and to track their behavior and progress. This program gave arrestees the option to enroll in the patient services in order to receive the best care needed. Once progress was made, outpatient services will then be followed after sentences. Results conclude that drug testing and treatment can help to reduce criminal activity throughout the criminal justice system. So this program actually helped to prove that and helped to prove the dire need for drug testing within the criminal justice system. Drug testing also has major effects. Drug testing was also acknowledged in a 1975 white paper on drug abuse. This document, which was conducted by the Domestic Council Drug Abuse Task Force, stated that pilot efforts for pretrial services implied that drug testing may be an effective method to hone in on arrestees engaging in drug use. And just to kind of backpedal, former President Bill Clinton was a huge advocate for the development of a policy for drug testing. And because he was such a huge advocate for this, it actually enabled Congress to increase funding for a grant that was designed to support pretrial drug testing at all levels within the criminal justice system. In the late 1970s and the early mid to 1980s, criminal justice systems, criminal justice workers, especially in the Department of Probation, began using drug testing for the first time as a way to manage supervision. During this time period, the war on drugs was a major issue and a major concern and a priority for government officials to really crack down on drug use. For individuals that sold illegal drugs and those who were arrested within the criminal justice system. Government officials began enforcing strict regulations and guidelines that probation officers had to adhere to. Drug testing enabled probation officers to establish their own on-site drug testing, which proved to be more effective and efficient, and also really convenient as well. And throughout that, I just also want to mention the different types of drug testing, which I mentioned earlier. The most common form of drug testing is urinalysis. It's the most practical form of drug testing and also the most cost-effective form of drug testing as well. Urine testing proves to be 98.5% accurate in the criminal justice system, and one may receive results anywhere between 1 day to 3 days. And the second type of drug testing is hair analysis. Hair analysis is a more recent form of drug testing, but it has the largest time frame of drug testing, which ranges from 7 days to 100 days. I mean, in order for one to detect drugs, you can detect that going all the way back from 2 months. Drugs in this drug testing tends to be absorbed into the hair follicles, and drug history tends to unfold as each hair strand begins to grow. So that is pretty interesting. And also, another form of drug testing is the sweat patches. The sweat patch. The sweat patch is also another more recent form of kind of drug testing, and it may be described as a patch that is attached to the skin, which may be placed on the upper arm of a person's body. The patch remains on the arm for approximately 1 day to 14 days, and it's really beneficial for monitoring drug use on a regular basis. The sweat patch, when coupled with urine testing, is a more effective method of tracking drug use. According to the U.S. Department of Justice Bureau of Justice Assistance, 40 federal probation facilities are utilizing this combined approach. And also, saliva analysis is the fourth type of drug testing. And this type of testing is really simple and it's easy. Drugs are absorbed into saliva glands and often disappear from saliva within 12 hours to 24 hours. So that's half a day to ranging to 1 day after being broken down into the saliva. This also, this type of testing is also effective, but the only thing about this one is that it can be really expensive, especially compared to urine analysis. That's why urine analysis is so favorable amongst criminal justice employees, because it's cost effective. They're able to, save a lot more money. And also another major issue, what I just want to also talk about is also the time frame. Here is just, as I mentioned earlier, previously, about the time frames for detecting drug use. So we have here, as you can see, urine analysis. It ranges from 1 day to 3 days. Hair analysis is the drug testing that has the highest time frame. That ranges from 7 days to 100 days. The sweat patches ranges from 1 day to 14 days. And saliva ranges from half a day to 1 day. So here's just some illustrations for you. And also a major concern also is drug testing amongst the workplace, amongst police officers. This is a major concern, but this just shows how drug testing is extremely important to be able to pinpoint and identify police officers who are engaging in drug abuse. Police officers utilizing drugs are hypocritical, and it poorly reflects the true nature of police officers and their services. Police officers under drug influence tend to lead to corruption, which prevents them from performing and functioning to the best of their ability on the job. They are now considered a threat and a danger to civilians, which is actually an oxymoron, because police officers are supposed to have a reputable position, and they're supposed to be protecting the citizens of the nations instead of engaging in drug abuse. So drug testing within the workplace strives to ensure increased productivity and effectiveness, especially if random drug testing is used. Results from drug testing within the workplace helps to weed out ineffective employees / police officers, and you can hold them accountable for inappropriate behavior within the workplace as well. And here is a chart just letting you know what areas, what's the percentage of drug testings that are used within the United States. So this is some data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics that indicates that 42 out of 50 state level enforcement agencies provide drug testing for new officers. So that pretty much breaks down to 84% of state level enforcement agencies provide drug testing, and 16% do not provide drug testing. And also, I would like to discuss drug courts. Drug testing has been extremely helpful within drug courts, and I just want to give you some background information on drug courts. As well, drug courts was established in the 1980s when drug abuse rates skyrocketed, when they were really extremely high. Drug courts have been implemented across the nation at the local and state level to limit or minimize drug-related crime. It's considered one of the most effective methods of reducing criminal activity. In addition to that, Congress has also played a major role in the development and the growth of drug courts at the local and state level. They've actually provided funding for drug courts. In 2009, drug courts received $40 million. In 2010, it actually increased from $40 million to $45 million. So there was a $5 million increase in drug courts. So Congress recognizes the importance of drug courts and continues to support its efforts in order to reduce crime rates and abuse. And according to the FBI, studies and data show that in 1980, state arrests for drug offenses were 580,000, totaling 5.6% of estimated arrests. And in 1989, drug offenses increased immensely to 1.362 million. And in more recent years, in 2008, drug arrests increased to over 1.7 million. These statistics really indicate the dire need of drug testing within drug courts to reduce drug use and criminal activity. Drug courts use the most practical form of drug testing, which is urinalysis. Once again, urinalysis is very popular and very common within the criminal justice system. Urine testing is widely used within drug courts because they provide a wide range of evidence. They provide forensic support, which makes the testing more reliable for evidence within the courts. And here are some graphs of just pretty much just reiterating the figures that I just mentioned about the number of drug arrests for drug offenses. And another aspect of drug testing, which is important within the criminal justice system, and how drug testing can help to lower recidivism rates. Studies conducted at a prison-based therapeutic communities have indicated that prisoners that receive drug testing and treatment have a 20% to 50% decrease rate of new arrests when compared to prisoners who did not have testing. And other studies signify that offenders who are on parole due to substance abuse are more likely to function better in society, and recidivism rates are also lower. So that just improves the society as a whole, improved job opportunities, better living conditions, just overall increased self-esteem. So overall, it strengthens the community. And in conclusion, furthermore, drug testing is a crucial technological tool which continues to play a critical role by detecting and identifying drug use within the criminal justice system. This presentation highlights the vital and dire need of drug testing as a form of technology throughout the criminal justice system. As drug testing evolved and changed over the years, it has proven to be very beneficial, effective, and efficient and convenient, and a very simple and easy process throughout the criminal justice system, and also to government officials and police officers. And even Congress is very favorable of drug testing, especially within the drug courts. So various forms of drug testing, including urinalysis, hair analysis, sweat patches, and saliva analysis, has made the drug testing process a lot easier and less time-consuming, opposed to the initial implementation of drug testing as a form of technology. This is the end of my presentation. I hope that my presentation was informative. And thank you all for taking the time out to watch and listen to my presentation. Thank you. Bye-bye.